Hey there. This is totally on the side. I don't know if I'll even post this. But if anyone ever does discover this video set, you might find this humorous. Yeah, I'm right in the middle of what I would call a battle. I'm fighting and fighting and fighting to accomplish this one simple task. Well, part of the task is to empty my recycle bin because it's so full of these tiny little files that I'm trying to download. Okay. See, here's the. Let me make pictures here. I guess. Here's the thing. There's this website. This isn't it. This was me trying to reproduce it. I used to have a copy of it, and it shows. Well, here. Now, this table shows you what we call the interrupt table for the Intel processor, for all the various operating systems that have used it. I don't have much use for any of this stuff. In fact, I'm only interested really in maybe 10 of these. But a long time ago, I was able to download this because you could go on the site with FTP. And if you know anything about FTP, that means that you can find out which files are on there. And you get like a dir command. You can type dir. Well, can't use that. Another one. If I understand this guy. So you can do this dir, or one of the switches dir is /F and it goes down the tree. Turns out that you don't even need that in this case. All the files are in the same folder. I didn't know that at first, but turns out that they're all in the same folder. And there's thousands of them, if you want to get them. Now, the problem is, I can't get on with the FTP anymore. But I still want to retrieve them from my local machine. It's faster, and there's a bunch of ads in there, and sex ads and whatnot. See, I don't want to see this stuff. PayPal, all this garbage. And I have to be online to use it. And sometimes, where I'm living in Cambodia, the internet or the power, everything goes off. So it's not always available. So I just want to get my coffee back. So here's the question: how would you do it? And I came up with this idea that, well, if I can get to anywhere just by clicking, then click on this thing, and then maybe I'll click on this thing, and then click on this thing. Eventually, I'm going to cover all of the possible links, right? As long as the following is true. Right? If I don't get blocked, you see what could happen is it could be possible. It could be possible that I've clicked both of these. Okay? So that might not be important. But suppose if this were a much smaller table and there's just a few of these things here. The way I'm trying to click around in this thing is I don't want to recopy what I've already copied. So if I see that I've already clicked here, I won't click again. So I've got to make sure that that I don't ever get blocked off. Now, look, here's the big problem. The big problem is that I've written this program here in C++. So here's some C++ for you. And this here is a recursive procedure. So it's a thing that calls itself. Right. Here's the name of this same function. So it's searching through one of the HTML files, and then if it finds another link, then it goes in. This is essentially like clicking on that link, and then searching through that link, and then finding more links, and clicking and clicking and clicking. And there's so much clicking, it goes so many levels deep that eventually it falls down this hole. And it goes so far down this hole that it crashes. It crashes. And what I'd been doing was I wasn't writing, I am now, but before I wasn't writing the HTML files out. I was waiting until it would get to this point at the end of the loop, and then I would write out the files and get rid of all the HTTP and all that stuff. But it never ever gets to this point because it gets trapped in this hole. So what I have to do is write them out immediately, all the time, until it crashes. And then I know that when it crashes, that there's going to be one file that would be empty on the drive as it's doing its thing. See, it's still preparing to do. It's trying to calculate how much time. I don't care how much time, so just delete them. Anyway, these are the ones that I downloaded, and I realized I made a stupid mistake, and I went to the root folder where all those files are, and I saw that there was an index. And I thought, oh, here I am doing all this silly walking and clicking when they've got an index, a dir. So instead I switched the program, and all underneath here I got rid of all this stuff and just went through basically the index. But only 2 files came out. And I thought, well, what a coincidence. All that downloading, there were only 2 files left to go. There were over 6,000 already. And, as anyone with half a brain should have realized, and obviously I don't, there's like maybe one chance in 50,000 that that's actually true. In fact, it's not a complete listing, it's just a couple of files. So I thought I had them all, and I got rid of all of this HTTP blah 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 stuff, which means once that's gone, I can't continue my search. And then I thought, well, I've probably got enough. 5,000 files is probably okay. But the thing is that where it gets trapped is in some stupid little hole somewhere that is irrelevant to me, But there's no other way to go about it. If you don't complete the whole circuit, you won't get back to where you want to be. In fact, I tried to start at the places where I wanted to get information for, and immediately it winds up getting trapped down that same hole. So now I got to start all over again. And if I can ever get rid of these files, start all over again, and let it go, and wait till it crashes, and then start it up again. It crashes, and this is really just, there's no point to this anymore in that, I don't even care if I get it. It's just like a challenge. I don't know. So you might find that amusing. I will. I'll save this video for myself. One thing that we will talk about, actually, if ever I post this, are recursive algorithms and the dangers of recursion. Some of it displayed here. At first I was hanging on to these strings and leaving the files open because I expected eventually it would get here, but it never did. So I was running out of file handles, and then I was running out of internet handles, and then I started running out of stack. And it really, recursion is a wonderful thing sometimes, and at other times it's a pain. But the point is, what I wanted to say is that there's this theorem that says that any recursive procedure or algorithm can be done in a non-recursive way. So if I can figure out how to do this in a loop instead of calling and calling the same function and using up all my what's called the stack, which I still haven't explained, then it will work. I'll be able to retrieve all the files. Does that thing finally start? Hey, there it's going. No, it's discovering. So, what a disaster. Anyway,